welcome to another episode of Earning the Hate. Oh shit, here we go. Wake up, people! A lot of people have been sending me this video, so I knew it must have been good. Everything I've been saying this video brings perfect light on about lowering standards, hiring people because of what bathroom they use or what color they are, not holding people accountable. Don't trust government. Government tells you you shouldn't have a gun, and they give people like this a gun. I meant to bring this up. I bring it up at the end, but remember, government hid this video. They didn't release it. The attorney that's suing released it. Okay? Government did not release this. How many times are there incidents like this that we never hear about? Had the government offered this attorney big money before, he probably wouldn't have released it. They were probably not offering anything, and that's why he released it. How many times did government hide misconduct and police abuse that the pesky citizens never know about? Quite a lot. This woman was fired several times from other agencies, shouldn't have been fired. I think worked at 6 different agencies, had all kind of policy violations, all kind of issues. And now she's out here working with this agency and shoots this guy. Now, black man, black shooter. They can't cry racism, but they're still out there marching about stop killing us. But you notice racism isn't the key. It's still a black man was out there running from the cops. This guy shouldn't have been shot, don't get me wrong. But he's out there committing crimes, gets in a chase 100 miles an hour, runs from the cops, and now he's a pillar of the community. It just kills me how no matter what a black person does, there's going to be a black protest that they were a great person. Anyway, and they're not saying this guy's criminal history, by the way. Whether he had a warrant, whether he had 14 or 15 prior arrests, they're not saying anything about that, which always tells me when government, if they said this guy had no criminal history, don't you think they'd be saying that? They're not saying that. Okay? So, again, we always get misinformation and we never get the full story, but let's look at this video here because it's pretty freaking interesting. I guess the meat of the video is right here. That siren is a pain in the butt. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did you feel that? I think I felt that over it. Bang. Shoots him. Now the critical point here, and we're going to go back through this. I don't know if y'all heard that. I had the sound turned down a little bit. So, she walks to this side at first, and then goes around here. I'm going to mute this up. So, I think she comes around here. Comes around here with her gun in her hand. When she falls, she even gives a statement later saying, I knew I was in trouble. She also gave a statement, I saw the look in his eyes. Oh, man, she saw a black man with mean eyes, and she shot him. But, Rick, she's black. I know. Black lives matter when they can tie the racist card to it. Otherwise, it's just now it's about money. But they can't use the racist thing. Here's the critical point. She switches hands. Bad move. Most people don't train offhand. I train offhand. I used to make officers shoot offhand when I was training officers because I think it's important for either this situation or if your gun hand gets injured. You ought to be able to know how to control it. She is sloppy when she holds it. Her grip is low. And because she doesn't do it and practice it, her finger's on the trigger. This is an accidental shooting or a negligent discharge or an accidental discharge, whatever you want to call it. I don't think she meant to pull the trigger. But once she pulled it, she covers her butt pretty well. Bang. Okay, so let's go back and listen to this, and so you can hear what's going on from the jump street. And I'll just pause it as we're going. So she sees this guy here, evidently rolled through a stop sign, out there collecting traffic, harassing people. So again, Remember, government has no duty to act. She chose to get involved. This is why, you know, people are like, oh man, it's not the government's fault, not the police's fault. They're our friend. They're all heroes. She chose to chase this guy down in order to get a quota, in order to get her ticket, in order to say that she was working, in order to get a free ticket, maybe so she could get in a chase and kill somebody. We don't know why she stopped him, but she has no duty to do this. She chose to do it.
Central 20340.
So she's laughing, very lackadaisical, when she's making this stop. Like it's no big deal. I'm just going to write another black man a ticket, you know, promote the stereotype that all black people, whatever. I don't know what the hell's going through her mind, but something's going through her mind. She's stopping this guy, probably because he's black, but she's black, so you can't say it's a racist. It gets really complicated when the liberals start feeding on themselves and all their policies turn against them. You just can't explain it. So you can't allow to talk about it, or people will say you're getting false information. I don't know what's in her mind. Well, I do know what's in her mind. Lunch, dinner, that box of donuts that wasn't empty when she left. But never mind, I digress.
Railroad Avenue at West Broad Street. Gonna be some.
You notice her calm, laughing, unprepared voice. Now she gets super excited. That's why that's another reason she shot this guy. She wasn't prepared. She was in a 100-mile-an-hour chase, and she was in a panic. And she's overweight and out of shape. The last time she ran was when somebody said there's only one popsicle left in the refrigerator. So she's not in physical shape. When you're not in physical shape and you're out there chasing people, it makes you less likely to think clearly, to get good blood flow, to be able to react, to be able to feel that you can defend yourself. I mean, she slipped in the mud and shot a guy and killed him. Good grief.
South Carolina tag. Central is running on the way headed down East Broad Street.
Did she clear that intersection? She just stopped a guy for running a red light. Who is more in danger? The guy runs through this red light, doesn't slow down, doesn't look, doesn't clear it. And what does she do? Government, highly trained employee that can drive fast, that's exempt from all the rules of the road. She goes through there. Somebody that just pulled out and is going through a green light could have got plowed by her. Didn't even brake. Didn't clear the... Every police agency in the world trains. You never blow a stop sign or a light without at least slowing and clearing it. She didn't. She doesn't have to. She's lived her whole life getting jobs because of what bathroom she uses, what color she is, that now she's been fired from 6 agencies, but everybody keeps hiring her. Why? Because we get our quota checks. We hired a female, we hired a black person. Now we're can't be racist. We're really good. Now we can, we don't have standards. We won't make her, pass any physical. We don't care that she's been fired for violation and doing all these other crimes. We'll just rehire her. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When the liberals have a shit fit when I talk about it, Rick, you're just making that up. That never happens. You're just passing false information. This is a perfect example. 6 different agencies fired from 2 for serious violations. Now they sped it up here. I would like to hear, and I appreciate Police Activity uploading these, by the way. But if you want to watch the whole video without me, you go to Police Activity. It says dash cam shows female slip and fall before fatally shooting suspect. So, to me, this is all critical information to evaluate her state of mind. Is she out of control? What's her radio traffic like? Is she giving out good? Is she saying he went left to center? Is she screaming on the radio? Does she not know where she's at? Is she in a panic? I'm pretty sure she is, but I don't know, because all her radio transmissions would be something critical. If I was evaluating this later, I'd want to pick up all those clues from what she was saying, how she was saying it. Was it accurate? Was she out of breath before she even got out of the car? Was she super hyped up? What's her driving pattern like? All those things I missed from this fast forward. According to news reports, she was going 100 miles an hour for 8 miles. This chase went on for 8 miles at over 100. Okay, so now we go back to audio. He tries to take this corner. When you're going 100 miles an hour for 8 miles, he's probably hitting his brakes. His brakes are hot. He thinks he was able to slow down and make this turn. If you look at it, you may think he just committed suicide and ran into the pole. He was trying to make this turn. His brakes failed. He didn't stop as quick as he thought he would, and that's why he hit the telephone pole. You notice his brake lights were on almost the entire time. Brake lights on, but it's not working. And he hits the pole. Hey, at least he gave a signal. Did you notice that? At least they can't write him that ticket. Guy made out on that. He's not going to get a ticket at his funeral for not using a turn signal. So she screams, "Show me your hands," and if you watch closely, you'll see his hands come out here. So his hands are out. My guess is this door doesn't open, or he came out. He went to the other side to get out, I think because this door wouldn't open. But, we don't know. He could have went here because he saw the size and sized her up and go, hell, I can outrun her with a broken leg. I'm going to try to get on the other side of the car and get out. She'll never catch me. I don't know what he was thinking. He's got both hands out. Nothing in his hands. So what is going on in all this time here? This is interesting. What the hell is she doing? Show me your hands. She doesn't try to get the guy out. She leaves him. I think in her statement, she says she had to go back to the car to get her flashlight. Again, indicates panic. She wasn't prepared. No cop gets out at night without his flashlight. You just don't do it. I mean, most cops have a flashlight on their belt. Most cops now have a flashlight on their gun. I had both. And then I have a bigger flashlight in case one of my batteries fell in the door that I can grab on my way out. No cop with any tactical savvy whatsoever leaves their car in the middle of the night without their flashlight. So, again, state of mind, preparedness, planning, poor training, lack of standard. She was given a training and failed to follow it. She had multiple policy violations, which means she didn't care about what training she had or what the rules were. That's what got us in this mess. This guy's dead because of that, and nobody will address it. It will be everything but what I'm saying. That was an accidental shooting. First of all, her fingers shouldn't have been on the trigger. When she transferred the gun, she was in a panic. She couldn't get up without using her other hand because she wasn't in shape, because she tripped over a freaking piece of grass. And now she's got her finger on the trigger. All goes back to training. Failure to follow standard. At the range, they were probably saying she's sloppy. If I was training her, I'd say she's sloppy. She doesn't pay attention. She ignores the rules. She thinks she's entitled and special. She doesn't have to follow the rules. I can't train her. And you know what they say? Rick, you know we can't say anything. She's a female. She'll say that you're being sexist. She's black. She'll say you're being racist. We can't correct people when you hire them because of what bathroom or what color they use. Not only that, when you have good people of the same sex or color, they get screwed because you have 20 that suck and were hired because of that. And now the good people can't even get acknowledged for being good because they're stuck in this class of, I was hired because of a quota. Quota hiring is just the most quickest way to downgrade standards and to absolutely put more people at risk and in danger. But you know what? What do I know? Damn, that hole wasn't that big before she fell. Look at all that dirt she's carrying away and shit. I see both his hands. I see both hands. Right here. Nothing. Nothing. You had something in your hand. What was in your hand? She knows she shot him accidentally and she's covering her butt. This is a classic. You can tell by her behavior, her consciousness of guilt. She's in a panic right now. She's going to take a break and come back and do what I call cover your ass statements on the camera. I thought she had snow pants on when I first saw this. I was like, damn, what's she going, skiing? Rick? And then I thought she had like a sports bra. I'm like, what? Why does she have a big ass black sports bra on the outside of her uniform? Leaves him there dying. Hey, she turns off her siren. I'm impressed.
Central be advised.
Okay, so this echo you're hearing, this loud echo, I hate that. This is when cops put their PA on. So when she turned off her siren, she turned on her radio PA to where her radio would come over the PA. Bad move. Cops will do that sometime. If you're at an accident and you're out there by yourself, it's nice because when you're out of the car and there's highway noise, you can put your radio over your PA and you can listen to the radio while you're out there taking measurements or doing things, pictures, whatever you're doing, and then you can hear if a call comes out. Whereas if you just have your portable, you may not. Now a lot of cops have earplugs so they can hear, and that helps. But back in the day, this was the way you did it. Well, having it on, the problem is you cannot transmit in front of that because you get feedback. Your radio is so loud and it's coming over your PA that it's going over, kind of like when I'm filming these videos sometimes. If I don't have my speakers too high, you'll get a second recording because it's recording my voice on a microphone. If my speakers are too loud, it's recording the speakers and it's recording what's happening on the computer. So that's this reverb you're getting.
One shot fired. He had something in his hands.
Cover that ass. He had something in his hands. He had something in his hands. That's why I shot. She shot because she fell. She transferred hands. Her finger was on the trigger, and it was an accidental shooting. It was unjustified. She knows it. She's lying, and she's going to lie more. Somebody that's been fired from multiple agencies and has worked at 6 different agencies in the last few years, they know how to cover their ass. They learn. Every time they go to court, they get a representative. Every time they go to a hearing, they get a representative. And they were told you shouldn't have said that. It's just like criminals. Criminals who have 14, 15-page rap sheets, they've been arrested 30, 40, 50 times. They know how the system works. They know what to say in front of a judge. They know what to say around the cops. They know what not to say. They know how to say, I don't know. It was my friend's pants. It's not mine. It's not my car. It's not my drugs. They know how to deny everything and admit nothing, which is what she does.
We're at the intersection of Chunky Road and Schoolhouse Drive. Spencer, give me some snippets quick. Sir.
She's out of breath, still got her gun in her hand, running around, turned her back to the suspect. She is not afraid of this guy, but she doesn't realize that because her mind's going really fast. I'm trying to cover my ass. You notice when she walks away here, she's not afraid of this guy. She shoots him. Is she afraid now? Turns her back. Is she in fear of him now? Walks away, not even looking at him. Turns her back. Turns her back. Doesn't keep the gun on him. Turns her back. Is she afraid now of him? Suddenly, she's afraid now.
Sir, be still. Be still. What's in your hand, sir? What is that in your hand?
I got to cover my butt. I got to get on the ready. I got to get on his camera that I was in fear of my life and I saw something in his hands.
Answer.
Notice she doesn't say here, sir, your eyes, I knew I was in trouble when I stared into your eyes. She says that later in a statement. She doesn't say that here. It was your eyes why I shot you.
Be still, sir. I've got EMS coming.
Be still. The guy ain't moving. He's dying. Be still? It's like going to a graveyard and telling a dude that's buried for 3 years, don't move. You in the casket, don't move. Show me your hands. What? He ain't moving. He's freaking dead. Well, he's almost dead.
What is in your hand, sir? Show me your hand. You're still not showing me your hand.
See, you're still not showing. This is what's called a setup, cover your ass statement. She's going back and intentionally doing this. I mean, this is just classical. Notice her gun's in her hand and is pointed at him. Notice the fear. Notice the concern. Notice how she had to shoot him because she was in fear of her life. She kind of forgot that I turned my back and walked away from this guy with no fear.
Answer.
She wants to put her gun away because she's not afraid, but she wants to keep it out to show that she's afraid. See this instant decisiveness? She's about to holster her gun. Oh, better keep it out. Jesus Christ, if she slips and falls on him now, if he wasn't dead, he will be dead. Don't fall on him!
Sir. Sir, be still, sir. Just be still. I got help coming. Be still.
Still got her gun pointed at him. That's nice. Hell, I already shot him once accidentally. I'll just keep my gun pointed at his head, so if I shoot again accidentally, I'll shoot him in the head. Are you kidding me? But Rick, she's a trained law enforcement officer, and they're all heroes, and if you don't support them, you're just like those other mean people, and you have to. So this is an isolated incident. I'm going to hear all this BS in the comments.
Be still.
So what changed from right here that she can put her gun away? Because she's made her point that she was scared. She made a point to focus on his hands, that's what she was afraid of. She's already got it on camera. Now I can put my gun away. Nothing changed. The guy's in the exact same position.
Flashlight right
Turns her back again. Suddenly I'm not scared of this guy. Why? Because I got on the camera that I was scared. I told him to show my hands. I mentioned that I saw something in his hands. My gun was out. I was scared. That's why I went back. Okay, I got that on camera. Let me go to scene 2. Let me go back here and get scene 2 planned out. All right, so this goes on. She makes a couple statements later about, if you want to go watch it, about how she saw his hands or whatever. Oh, another part. Where does she start CPR? I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Did they change the rules to CPR? He's moaning and crying. She's dragging him, and he's moaning, and she starts CPR. I know my CPR card is expired, and I haven't gone through training in a few years, but I went through it like every year for freaking 20, 30 years. If I remember correctly, as long as they're breathing or trying to breathe, they have a pulse. If they're choking, you clear the airway so they can get oxygen. You only do CPR if the heart stops. He's moaning and she's doing CPR, telling him to breathe. I was like, did they change the... I could be wrong. Maybe they changed the rules.
Sir. 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 Oh.
If I call him sir, it'll make like I care about him. Let me call him sir. Kills me. You shoot a guy with a machine gun and you go, here, sir, here's a Band-Aid. Sorry. Suddenly you're a good guy because you say sir. You chase him down to either arrest him because he ran a stop sign, you endanger the public running red lights, you go 100 miles an hour and chase him, and then you slip and fall and kill him, and suddenly if you call him sir, you're a good guy. Okay. Hear him gasping?
There you go, sir. Keep breathing.
Keep breathing as she mashes his freaking lungs. Are you kidding? I think she's trying to kill him. I mean, I don't know what the prosecution on their investigation, but right here, I think that she's trying to kill him. I honestly believe she's trying. Why would a guy gasping would you do that? You would clear the airway if he's gasping. You know he has a heartbeat. She never checks a pulse, and she starts mashing his chest with her fucking 300-pound freaking butt mashing on him. I think she's trying to kill him. He's moaning and choking like, I'm trying to breathe. You're killing me. He can't even defend himself. To me, this should be part of the manslaughter.
There you go, sir. Keep breathing.
There you go. Keep breathing. I'm going to mash on your chest. This is another example of people will say she needs more training. She has training. She's worked at 6 different agencies. They all require CPR. She has training. She doesn't think she has to follow it. She's above the rules. She's going to get hired anyway. It doesn't matter if they fire her. Someone else will hire her because we get 2 quota checks. One for female and one for hiring a black person. Why would she have to feel like she has to follow any rules? She kills this guy. It's bullshit. And nobody wants to say anything, even though he's a black guy, to be like, Black Lives Matter, unless a black person kills him. 40 people die in Chicago from black shootings in a weekend, and nobody complains about Black Lives Matter.
Keep breathing for me.
Keep breathing. I'm mashing on your chest. Did they change the rules to CPR? Please, somebody let me know. I honestly think she's trying to kill him. I mean, it may be my cynical side, but I think she's trying to kill him. She's like, I don't want his side of the story. I don't want him to say that he wasn't doing anything. I don't want him testifying against me. I honestly believe there is no reason to do CPR on a guy that's gasping for air. You ought to be clearing his airway so he can breathe on his own. I'm just shocked. There's a couple news articles. Hang on. So here's the prosecutor talking about her statement on why she thought she should have to shoot him.
To the fear that she said that she felt, and that she had seen the look in his eyes, and she thought that she was in trouble.
She thought she was in trouble. So now we can kill people and use deadly force if we think we're in trouble. Wow. Let's lower the standards some more for government to go out there and start killing people with guns, and then tell us that pesky citizens shouldn't have guns because we don't have enough training. We're not responsible. If you look at the number of people that own guns and the number of times that people legally, lawfully owning guns commit a crime compared to cops that legally, lawfully own guns and commit crimes and kill people, the stats are overwhelming that government is much more of a danger than a citizen with a gun. But I digress. So in the little protest march here, it says that Robert Junior Langley, Junior is his middle name? Robert Junior Langley, really? 46, was killed by Officer Cassandra following a police chase in Georgetown County. The chase began when Langley rolled through a stop sign, didn't even run, he just didn't stop all the way. And then Cassandra shot him after he exited his car, claiming she feared for her life. Wow. That seems like the special code word for cops to say when they shoot somebody. Who believes it now? It's used so much. Who believes it? It's kind of like racism. Everybody's called a racist so much, the word doesn't mean anything. Now when cops say they fear for their life, they use it so much, it doesn't mean anything.
Monday morning left a 46-year-old man dead. His name was Robert Junior Langley. The State Law Enforcement Division, SLED, says Officer Cassandra Dollard is charged with voluntary manslaughter in that case. SLED says Officer Dollard.
Voluntary, not involuntary, voluntary. I think she's facing 30 years. But the charging guidelines, she can get as little as 2 years or as much as 30. 2 to 30. What kind of sentencing guideline is that? Why don't you just say give them what you want? You can get 2 or you can get 30. Who thinks she gets 2? Any bets?
initiated a chase that started in Williamsburg County and ended in Georgetown County. Now, around 1:30 on Sunday morning, deputies with the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office responded to a shooting near Choppy Road and Schoolhouse Drive. That's in the Pleasant Hill community. Right now, Officer Cassandra Dollard being held at the Georgetown County Detention Center. A bond hearing is set for her tomorrow morning.
Now, new at 6, Live 5 has learned that officer was working for her 6th department in her career.
6 different departments.
And according to her training history, she had been fired from 2 of those.
So when somebody's leaving that many agencies, a lot of times they're leaving under threat of being fired. So if a cop does something pretty bad and nobody knows about it, they will say, dude, if you don't quit, we're going to have to fire you. And the cop goes, okay, I'll quit and I'll go work somewhere else. Because then it'll just say I wasn't fired, I quit. And that's what she did at 6 different agencies. 6 different agencies. Are you kidding me?
Lisa Wiseman joins us from the newsroom. And Lisa, we just gotten that training history within the last hour.
We learned that Cassandra Dollard had just started with the Hemingway Police Department just last September. She was previously with the St. Stephen Police.
I'm just kind of wondering, when an agency hires somebody and it says, you've been fired twice from 2 different police departments for failing to follow the rules and for serious violations and crimes, but no felonies, and you've changed departments 6 times, and you're highly overweight, you're out of shape. I don't even know if we have a belt big enough that we're going to have to spend extra money to get bigger belts made for you to carry your gun. I wonder what the process is to say this would be a good person to give a gun and go out there and protect and serve the pesky citizens. What? Who? I mean, it's just crazy. And people will come here and make me the bad guy for saying this.
Police Department for 6 years and left on her own accord, but she was twice fired from other law enforcement jobs, that according to her training history from the State Criminal Justice Academy. Back in 2002, Dollard was fired from her position with the Johnsonville Police Department for, quote,
oh, you were fired for poor performance? Shit, you'd make a perfect fit for this department. And you were fired for multiple from another agency? Oh, shit, I'll just hire you here. You'll make a perfect freaking person. I've seen this firsthand. We hired a guy, not we, the freaking crooked chief of the DA's office. He hired this guy's wife who was fired from another agency saying she should never be a cop and should never carry a gun. And it was the wife of the buddy of the chief, and he hired her as a cop and gave her a gun. So this isn't like an isolated incident, people.
Performance. Then, in 2014, she was fired from her position with the Department of Public Safety. In that personnel change in status report, the Director of Public Safety at the time said she violated multiple policies, including willful violation of rules, improper conduct.
Bad conduct, willful. When they say willful, that means you wanted to do it. You were like, screw you, you ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Unbecoming of a state employee, and negligence in the performance of duty.
Negligence! The chief that interviewed her. Oh man, you a little negligence? Oh, I ain't worried about that. A little poor performance? I ain't worried about that. Shit, we'll hire you. Now when you kill somebody, guess who's got to pay? The pesky citizens pay. Not the chief that hired her, not the chiefs that covered for her, not the agencies that told her she had to leave or they would fire her. Remember, this tape, this video, was not released by the government. The attorney released it. This was hid by the government.
We have reached out to the Hemingway Police Department for comment on her arrest and to ask the current state of her employment with the department. In the newsroom, Lisa Wiseman, Live 5 News.
Yeah, and they're not going to get back to him. Shocking. All right, I went long. Y'all have a good one. This is a perfect example. We'll see y'all.